and welcome to another edition of Between Two Foxes. Except today it's really between four foxes, as I'm joined by three parents of current or former Marist students. I'm joined by Christine McCann, Mark Asperino, and Tamara Street. Welcome to all three of you. It's great to have you here today.
Thank
Great
you.
to be here.
Nice to be here.
All right, so let's start by having you introduce yourselves and telling us a little bit about your red fox, or in some cases, red foxes.
My name is Christine McCann, and I graduated in 1992. Currently, I have two red foxes here. Lauren, who's a junior, and she's in broadcast and production. And our second red fox is Amy McCann, and she's a sophomore, and she's looking to become a teacher. She's in the B2 program.
Yeah, so Mark Asperino, class of 94. Met my lovely wife Suzanne here, and she's a class of 95 grad. Our two sons attended Marist. My oldest son Jake graduated last year in business entrepreneurship, and currently we have a son Drew, who is a junior here, and he's covering psychology and communications.
All right, Tamara, how about your story?
My story is, I'm not an alumni to start off with, but I have a son who graduated in 2024, and he was class president, along with president of his fraternity, along with some other organizations. He was involved in the investment club as well. So he's heavily involved here at Marist University, and he's doing quite well. He's working for Goldman Sachs now as an analyst, and he's thriving. And he comes up every, year for career fair to continue to recruit other students for the internships at Goldman Sachs.
So what were your emotions like when you first left your child or children here on campus?
I was a mess. And I was so excited for her. She had worked so hard to come here, and she was excited. She wasn't crying. I was a mess, and I think I set off my other family members, but it was a very, very quiet ride home back to Long Island with lots of tissues stuffed in the car handle. The experience that Lauren had here as a freshman quickly put me at ease, because she was so happy here and she was so involved in her major and the friends that she met. I knew that Amy was going to have a similar experience here. I was blessed to make lifetime friends here, who they all call aunts now. It's just a very, very comfortable feeling. Not when you first drop off your first baby, but very quickly did I realize she was in the right place. And I realized with Amy, she was in the right place as well.
So when you visit your child or children at Marist, what's your favorite place to go when you're back on campus?
Yeah, we typically come up, do a tailgate, whether family weekend or alumni weekend. Any weekend there's an excuse to see a football game. Just walking around here is like, your blood pressure goes right down as soon as you get on that green. It's fantastic.
So as you were engaged in the college search process, were you always aligned with your child about Marist being the place for them, or was it a little more of a meandering journey?
We have a friend by the name of Raymond Ely, who is a mentor to Tyler, and he said, have you applied to Marist University? We said, no, we hadn't. He said, you should give it a try. And so we said, okay. So Tyler put in his application, and by the end of January, he was accepted into the program. And so we were excited. We didn't know much about it. We talked with the recruiter, West Coast recruiter. We made a trip here in June of 2020, right in the midst of COVID. We were able to get a campus tour. And from that tour, he made the decision, but we made it all together, my husband and I and Tyler, that this was the place for him.
So tell us about how you become involved as parents, and what are different ways that our parents can be involved and engaged in the life of their children.
So meeting parents on Long Island, and it was great to meet the families of accepted students, and to just share the good news about all the great things that are going on here in the classrooms, on the sports fields, and just the general community.
So y'all clearly love Marist. What is one thing that's special about Marist to you?
I think your staff is awesome.
Yeah.
I think it's what makes the college special. I said it a long time ago when Jake was here at one of the welcoming parents events. The people that are at the event, you could see that they like working together. They're having fun. You come to campus, and whether you're in the library or the cafeteria, or you're on the grounds, and people are happy and they're in a good mood, and you feel good about dropping your child off at a place like that, because there's generally caring there. And I, big believer in what I do for a living. Great places to work, right? Culture is everything, and I think you've got a phenomenal staff.
One of the benefits of Marist is students know that they're cared for, and the professors want them to succeed in their class. And all a professor needs to do is to see that a child cares and wants to do well, and they grab the child if there's a struggle, and they will say, this is what you need to do to succeed. And they really do nurture without enabling, and they want them to learn, and they want them to enjoy their class. So I think that that's been a really great positive experience for our family. The connections, I guess because of the size and also the mission of Marist to get to know the students as students and not a number.
For us, what's made Marist so different from some of the other colleges that we had the opportunity to visit is really just the culture. As some of the parents have said, that just the nurturing. I feel like this is a continuum of our village, and that has led Tyler to the success that he has now, and then to be able to continue to come back here on campus to share his experiences and then try to recruit other students here at Marist. It's just all the way around a majestic, as I said before, the majestic views. It provides you some calmness, some peace. It allows you to focus in on what's really important. And I think Tyler received all of that, and he continues to receive it and grow and develop very strong relationships, not only with faculty, but with his friends as well. And they're all doing so well and so successful. So yeah, we owe it all to Marist. Yes.
We have a saying here, once a red fox, always a red fox.
Yes.
Red fox for life. And after students graduate, they come back again and
Yes.
again and again, and they're every bit a part of the community as they were when they were students. All right, so you know what time it is. It's time for the lightning round. Are you ready?
We're ready.
Yes.
Ready?
So when your child left for Marist, I know you missed your child. Did you miss their messy rooms?
No, I did not. And I did a big purge, and the room stays really neat when she's out of the house.
All right, do your children study too much, not enough, or just right?
I'd say case number 1, just right. Case number 2, too much.
So when your child comes home, is it to see you or the pets?
Oh, definitely, it's to see Piper, for sure.
And Piper is
Piper is an English Golden Retriever, and Tyler loves Piper. Piper gets in the bed with Tyler. Oh my goodness, she loves Tyler. I mean, you should see how crazy she is when he comes to the door and he comes home from here on the East Coast. It's amazing.
Do you have more Marath Swag than your kids?
Yes, without a doubt.
Well, you've had 30 years
I've
to
had
accumulate.
30 years to accumulate it. Yeah, and I'm just a swag person, so I don't say no to anything. And actually, although they do take my swag, so I
Okay.
do have more.
Borrow.
And
It's called borrow.
I don't get it back, but yeah.
I would say Piper has more swag than all of us.
But I have to say, due to the wonderful Emporium, our Lauren and Amy are regulars there with shopping, and they really have gotten some very, very creative student-made merch there. So definitely our girls have more than I do at this point.
It's wonderful. The new product line every semester, and
Totally
you've got to go
student-run.
shopping. You got to go shopping. All right, now it's time for our closing challenge. We're going to see how much you know about your children's Marist experience. For this, we're going to draw a little inspiration from the Newlywed Game. I'm going to channel my inner Bob Eubanks. We asked your children some questions. We're going to ask you the same ones, and we'll see if you can get the question right. Are you ready?
Yes.
All right, Christine, so we'll start with you.
Okay.
Do your children separate the whites and the darks, or they throw them all in there together?
Lauren may separate, Amy throws them all in.
No way. Everything's going in the laundry.
Everything in
Including like towels, sheets, everything goes in one load.
one load.
They don't want to spend a lot of time doing laundry. If
No,
they have a few pink
that's
shirts that
for
used to be
sure.
white, it's
That's
all
for sure.
good.
Everything comes home pink or gray.
All right, if your children are ever late to class, what's the reason?
First, I'm sure they're never late to class.
Of course, but if they were.
But if they were, that they needed more rest and they slept in, or they were talking to friends.
Probably because I found people and I was talking to them along the way and then later realized that I was late to class. I probably slept too late.
All right.
Nailed it. Perfect.
Finally.
Great.
All right, Mark.
I'm up.
We sat down with Drew. All right, what is Drew's favorite food that he eats a lot of?
Oh, I'd say it's either steak or pasta.
Steak or pasta, okay.
The food I eat the most is probably eggs. I have at least 5 eggs a day.
5 eggs a day.
I'm thinking dinner. I know we're going through the breakfast cuisine. He does eat a lot of eggs.
So that checks out.
Yeah.
Who's texting who first, you or Drew?
If he says it's him, he's an absolute liar. I think, as a matter of fact, I text Drew and I wait days for the reply.
You can't rush into it, right? You can't rush into it to return text.
Yeah, he's thoughtful.
My mom and dad are definitely most likely to text first.
He owned up to that
There's
one,
mine.
at least. All right, Tyler, what was the one food that Tyler lived off when he was at Marist?
Oh, pasta.
Pasta, all
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
The food that I ate the most in college was pasta.
Nice. Nailed it. All right, does Tyler separate darks and whites or throw them all in together?
He separates them, for sure. He learned that from his dad.
In college, when I did my laundry, I separated my clothes based off the darks and lights.
His clean room,
Yeah.
separates his laundry.
Yeah.
It's a parent's dream come true.
I know.
All right, that's all the time we have here on Between Two Foxes. My thanks to Christine, Mark, and Tamara for joining me here today. Really appreciate having you on the show. And until next time, go Red Foxes.